Hello everyone, today I'm going to be reviewing the iPod Touch Generation 5. Um, Obviously you can see the little loop right there. It's obviously Generation 5 because I think it's the only iPod Touch with that loop. This isn't the newest, this isn't the oldest Apple device, not in the middle either, but it's respectable. So obviously this is that little iPod logo, like this little aluminum body here. It's just so premium, thin, and everything. It's nice. As you can see, the camera is inspired by another specific iOS device. This is iPhone, obviously. It's inspired by an iPhone, but it's missing a lot of the phone parts. As you can see, the little speaker on here. So yeah, if you want to FaceTime, you're gonna have to, or FaceTime audio, you're really gonna have to use the speaker on the bottom, or connect your own headphones of your choice, AirPods or Bluetooth headphones. It supports that. As you can see, the headphone jack. Apple got rid of that a little while ago, so it's pretty bad. Nowadays, you have to get a lightning port. Yeah, so anyways, let's power this thing on. Things with this device. As you can see here, the little Zoom logo. Not the Zoom logo, but the Zoom character himself in a little photo edit screen. So yeah, this is pretty nice. You can see here the little iOS 9 display. Also, you can see here, it's a little old. Let's go into settings, about, and as you can see here, it is iOS version 9.3.5. So yeah, you're not going to be getting a lot of good apps that are available in 2023 because obviously I've had this for a few months. I've tried to use it. You have to get the latest compatible version. Luckily, I have a little older iPad running around with iOS 12. So yeah, that's pretty nice having a newer device. So if you don't have a newer device, newer Apple device, please don't get this. I got this off of eBay for about 30, 40, 30 to $50 around the area. So yeah, maybe you can find iPod Touch fifth or sixth generation for around that price. Speaking of sixth generation, I actually had that on the way. I got it, and now it's just gonna come in and I'll review it. I'll fully unbox it. It's not brand new, but it is unboxable. Obviously, I have assistive touch here. I can do your little thing, device, more, and then I'll just take a screenshot. I don't know why I just screenshot my own home screen. Maybe people just like to show off their apps. Don't know. So obviously this comes with a lot of the iOS pre-installed apps. So yeah, FaceTime, calendar, photos, camera, weather. This little clock actually moves along with time. So even if you look at the clock, it's actually 9:29 with the clock too, as you can see here. That's pretty nice detail by Apple. Anyways, let's show you how good the camera quality is. It's not the best, as you can see here. It takes a little time for this thing to refocus. Okay, thank you for focusing camera. Thank you very much. So anyways, as you can see here, the camera quality is not the best. It is a pretty good camera quality though. I like it myself because I'm not fully a person who likes to take a lot of pictures, but this camera show always is very nostalgic. As you can see here, the camera quality is not the best. The video quality is not the best either. I think it's like 1080p with 30 frames a second, which is pretty good back then. But nowadays, you got 4K at 60 frames a second, or 1080p 60 frames a second. Wait, isn't it 120 frames a second for 4K? But yeah, this is pretty good in terms of just trying to have a normal device. Obviously, this isn't the best camera quality of all time. VPNs, TikTok, which has 15 notifications. Um, it's basically unusable. You can, besides, it's not the newest version, anyways. Plus, this thing lags a ton. It takes like a few full seconds to be able to load the video. Cydia, I tried to jailbreak this device once. I did successfully jailbreak it. I tried to install an app, but the app worked, but it couldn't connect to the servers because the app was still an older version. Because, again, this thing is stuck. Yeah, this thing is basically stuck on iOS 9.3.5. Let's go back about and yeah, check this out. iOS 9.3.5. Can't update it obviously because you know how iOS goes. They're not fully going to do that. Obviously, you can't install apps from just websites like Androids can. So you can't just get APK and install it. You have to go through rigorous processes, get an IPSW or IPA or anything like that. You have to jailbreak the device, like I said. using your computer and downloading the app from there. And then on top of that, you have to redo it again because obviously the app is not signed by Apple. So of course, even if you trust it, the signature is going to be, just temporary. So I think every few days you have to do it, which is pretty terrible. It's not the newest device that you can actually get. iBooks is obviously available. You can leave videos and all that type of stuff. As for speed, no, this isn't the fastest device on the market. Why is the camera not, by the way, the fastest device of all time? It's how do I say this in the best terms? It's not okay. It's a little under okay, but it's fine enough to use. It's like, now if you're in an emergency situation, don't get this device. Okay? Obviously, you can talk to Siri on this thing. Hey Siri, what do you think of my YouTube video? Oh, obviously I was. Is there something else I can help with? No, thank you. Okay, so yeah, iOS 9 doesn't have the most responsive Siri. It's more of just an assistant that does whatever you want it to do. Well, not exactly whatever, because obviously in the newer version, Siri has a more tasteful response. If you have noticed that, if you have a newer iOS device, and so instead of saying I don't have an answer for that, sometimes it'll actually respond to you saying certain things. But yeah, Siri grows with you. Not really grows with you, especially on this device. It's not the best. Obviously, App Store is pretty limited unless you, like I said, you have a newer device. You're not gonna get a billion apps. Okay. Try to get it and install it. Again, unable to purchase. Rocket League Sideswipe is not compatible with this iPod, and the amount of times I have looked through this, it's insane. Eventually, this app will start to slowly decay and not be usable for multiplayer anymore. Because we all know how a lot of app companies go. They are fine with you having the oldest version, maybe one or two older generations. But once you start going back and those servers really have to start being there, it gets pretty hard to work with. Netflix still works, surprisingly, on iOS 9.3.5. Everything works pretty nicely. Spotify works, but not to the fullest extent of what you think. But yeah, this is just some of the stuff I just randomly put on here just to show you guys, girls, and everyone else, what this is about. But anyways, like I said, this isn't the best device to use. It is a cheap device. I give it that. It's pretty cheap for an iOS device. So maybe those of you who are just looking for that classic iOS experience, this may be for you. Also, a subscribe to the channel would be a very good experience. Basically, if AirPods are supported, yes, you can connect them, but obviously there are going to be some underlying issues. Obviously, you can't look up the battery of the case, so you will have to just look at the actual case light, which glows. So obviously, let's go to Bluetooth. See here, it's going to take a second. Obviously, I have AP3 connected, which is another set of Bluetooth headphones that look exactly like AirPods for some reason. So as you can see here, it's connected. So yeah, it works, but you will have some issues, fortunately. So you don't have any battery notifications. So yeah, you can't really. It's kind of hard to guesstimate the battery. So if you look at this, it can be on like 30%, and it looks like it's on 70. Obviously, you can go on notifications and do not disturb, even though I don't turn that on specifically because there's really no notifications that I do get. Most of the time, especially on this device, because a lot of the apps that I do get notifications from are on a separate device, which is an Android device, so this thing is definitely not compatible with that. Using the iPod Touch Generation 5 in 2023, obviously doesn't stand up that well versus, newer iPods and newer iDevices in general. So yeah, anyways, I'll see you in the next video. Be creative is out.